Hi guys, and welcome to our tutorial on Blender version 2.81. That's right, today we're looking at a specific tool that is only available in the experimental build of Blender version 2.81, and that is the new Denoise node that is going to substantially reduce the amount of noise in your renders. So if you want to download the experimental build of Blender version 2.81, come to blender.org/download, scroll down to the bottom and click Get Blender Experimental. Choose your operating system and then left click to begin the download. So I have a scene here that has both metallic and glass materials. That means there's a lot of noise. So I'm going to start by rendering a single image with 5 render samples and a tile size of 256 by 256 using my GPU in cycles. So I'm going to go to render and render image, and that rendered image took 1.36 seconds, so not a long time at all for it to render, but you can see there's a lot of noise. Now at the moment I'm in slot 2 because I've been playing about with things, but you will render by default in slot 1. So what you would do is you would come here, you would left click, and then you would go from slot 1 to slot 2, but I'm actually going to go from slot 2 to slot 1 here. And now what I want to do is I want to come to the View Layer tab in the Properties panel, and I want to left click on this Denoising Data option. And I'm going to show you why I want to click on this. Now if I go to Compositing now, you will see we have 3 options: Image, Alpha, Depth. But there are more options hidden away. To access those options, we have to go and click on this Denoising Data tool right here, make sure it's enabled, and now we need to render a new image. And even though it's the exact same image with the exact same number of samples, it does take a little bit longer to render. So this time it takes 4 seconds because with the denoising data option enabled, we are storing a lot more information in the background. So now we have an image in slot 1 and an image in slot 2. So I'm going to make sure that I am on slot 1, and then we're going to go over to Compositing. And you can see here that we have many more options. All of these denoising options have now appeared to us, which is fantastic. If you can't see any nodes at all, then it's most probably because your Use Nodes button here has not been enabled. So make sure that that is ticked. Then you're going to hold Shift and A, and we're going to search for a viewer node to start with, and just pop that there. And let's connect the viewer node with the image, and that will give us a look at our image in the compositing workspace. And then we want to make use of a few of these new options. The 3 that we want to make use of are the noisy image, denoising normal, and denoising albedo. That means we have to add our brand new node, which is the Denoise node introduced in Blender version 2.81. So Shift A, search, and then type in denoise, left click to add the Denoise node, and I'm going to position it right here. Now give it a couple of seconds and you will see in the background that the rendered image looks a lot cleaner. So if we go to our rendering workspace and zoom in here, at the moment this is the same one, it's slot 1, but we can see that it's still really grainy, so it's not showed up here just yet. If we go back to compositing and take the image output from the Denoise node and plop it into our composite node, and then go back to rendering, now we can see the effect that the Denoise node is having on our rendered image, and we can compare this with the other image that we rendered as well. So here in slot 2 was the first image that I rendered with a ton of noise, took 1.36 seconds to render, and then in slot 1, here is the image that was rendered with the same number of samples, but has the Denoise node enabled in the compositing workspace. And you can see that despite the fact that it only took us 4 seconds to render, the result is night and day between these two images. But we're not finished yet, because what we want to do is we want to make use of these outputs here to give our final image even more information to work with. So we're going to take the noisy image and plug it directly into the image input. Let that load up for a couple of seconds. You can see that we've got a minor change to the lighting. Take the denoising normal and put it into the normal input here. And then finally take the denoising albedo and put it into the albedo input here. And by doing that, you will get the best possible result when using this Denoise node. So if we finally go back and compare our two images, this is slot 1, this is slot 2. And as you can see, there really is a night and day difference. So that's it from me on how you can use the new Denoise node to reduce the amount of noise and improve your rendered images in Blender version 2.81. Thanks guys, and I will see you in the next video.